Drama on here. What's up, man?
Hey, hey, what's good, man? There we go.
Good, man. My apologies for the delay, man.
Hey, it happens, man. I appreciate you having me on.
So, I was just telling people how I feel you. I've heard of you at Manchester. You was an opening act for Tech Nine, what, arguably the highest selling independent hip hop artist of all time. And I was talking about how mainstream artists usually get a lot of flack. But when guys like Tech Nine gives guys like you a chance to perform and that platform in a big audience, they should be applauded for that. They should get
Absolutely.
they should get kudos for that, because he could have said my strange music, but he gave you, Shadow Clone, and Alex Zane that platform, and I'm friends with Shadow Clone, the artist himself, and I like Alex as well. And
Shout out to those guys for sure.
yeah, and when I heard seeing you perform, I was like, okay. And you was introduced by John Clark himself. John Clark, man, he's on the grind. I've been a fan of his work since back in the days with Cadillac Dundee. Of him through
Oh
them.
yeah.
So let's go back to that night. You getting a chance to perform. What was that experience like? Was I was an opening act for Tech Nine. What was that experience?
Of all the national shows I played, that was the first time it struck a nerve. About 35 minutes before I went on, I was losing it, man. I was so excited. Very blessed and grateful for the opportunity. When I started rapping, man, and actually pursuing it on a serious level about 9 months ago, that was kind of that was my dream, as I just said, Tech Nine one day. So being able to achieve it and experience it, man, and the love I got from Lexington and everything, incredible. It's definitely an unforgettable night.
Now that's what I'm talking about right there. When you set a goal, you go for it, and who knows, it might come to fruition in 9 months in, and you was there. And you from Ballstown, Kentucky.
Yes, sir.
I am familiar with it, but it's a city nonetheless, and you're holding it down for your city. So that's a big deal right there. That's a big deal for
Yeah,
real.
man. Yeah, and I still got a lot of love for Bardstown too, man. I was born and raised out here, urban capital of the world.
Oh yes, for sure. Oh, let's talk about this record, man. We Never Walk Alone. It's now available on all digital music platforms, and I want to let you know something. I think the song was Faded. Added that to my song of the list playlist as of this past week because he was gonna be on the
Oh,
show,
great.
and I listen to. I'm a fan of local music, and I listen to all types of music, and I listen to a couple of songs and pick one that's gonna be in my playlist, and then I say this guy's coming up. I'm gonna put him on there. I'm gonna put Drummond on there, and got some Ballstown, Kentucky, because I got Lexington, I got Frankfurt, Louisville, I got other areas of Kentucky. Now I got Ballstown in that playlist too. Uh, so, what was it like, man, working on this project, and what made you decide to name it "We Never Walk Alone"?
It kind of goes back to the whole story of what really pushed me to pursue it in the first place, man. Regrettably, my brother was an extremely close person to me, the best friend I had, and he took his life of May 5th of 2016. And the last words he wrote on his, forgive me, on his suicide note is he put, "We never walk alone." And since then, that's just me. He noted our mom's grave a couple days before he passed, and he left the memorabilia where he signed it, dated it, and put, "We never walk alone." So I started pursuing hip-hop because before rap, I actually played drums and did metal music over the years, and I've always loved hip-hop. but I didn't pursue it until the last conversation I had with him about a week prior. He encouraged me to do it. So when that happened, it's just we never walk alone, really. I'm trying to push that as a suicide awareness, mental awareness kind of really doesn't exist a whole lot in hip-hop. You know, it's something that a lot of people don't really want to talk about. So really it was just paying homage to my brother and the influential impact he's made on my life. And also that we don't walk alone. You know, we're not the only people hurt the way they hurt, think the way they think, or go through the type of things we do in life that are hard, you know.
I'm sorry to hear what happened to your brother. Someone so close to you and that you care about and meant so much to you. And, you know, depression, it happens to a lot of people. And some people either get the help or they don't. And, you don't handle that stuff by yourself, and, and to everybody out there that's listening, if you have an ounce of it, big or small, don't handle it alone. Go get help. Be around people that's care for you. That's gonna make sure that you're good. And that's very cool to see that you dedicated this project to him. 'Cause he wanted you to do this, and you went for it, and you haven't since. So I'm proud of you. I'm proud of this record, and I think everyone, whether you're a hip hop fan or not, needs to give this record a listen, because I see grind in you. I see a lot of potential in you, and you were on your way to more big things. I truly believe people are gonna know that Bosstown, Kentucky is more than Bourbon County. They gonna know the name of Jrumma. I feel like I'm sounding like John Clark right now, but I'm more like a PG-13 John Clark. But
Right.
but I'm speaking the truth though. So I want to talk about this song "Faded," man. I like this record. Talk about this song. What's it all about?
Man, it's just goes kind of back with the whole theme of the album, going to where, you're not the only person that thinks the way you do hurts the way you hurt, man. It was just, I wanted to keep it honest, and it does talk about, me dealing with anxiety and, trying to cope with it with substances like drinking and going out and just kind of feeling like you lost touch of everything sometimes, man. Like, you might be right here, but you just faded out,
Definitely a dope record. I also played Qualified as well. That's a dope record as well. This may be a difficult question to answer, because people treat certain songs differently per se. But as far as that record, what are some of your favorite songs or songs rather that you like to perform off that project?
Oh, I'm extremely excited with some of the new I have a couple shows coming up. I'm very excited to perform Used To, which is kind of somewhat of a heartbreak song about people giving this perception of me just being a rapper and the, connotations that come with, claiming to be a hip-hop artist and saying I'm not like these other dudes. I'm not going to, I'm not going to pull anything on you. I'm not trying to take 3 girls home with me when I play a show, or, I'm still decent and I still take care of myself and try to stay humble. And that's what Used To is about. I have not performed that song yet, but that is my favorite song to rap, just sonically, enunciating the words and the patterns and everything. It's a really enjoyable song for me to rap, so I'm very excited to start performing that. Qualified to play, shout out to Joey Marini because he's the feature. He's the second. But that's always the energy that Joey Marini, brings on the stage himself, and the fact that we go back and forth with it, that's so much fun to perform. But Faded's definitely my favorite of all time, though, because it's probably the best hit I have. The crowd's always the most participant in it. And I had a call coming through. I was trying to ignore it. I always say Faded for last, and the crowd involvement, people singing the words and rapping it along with me, that energy. The more responsive a crowd is, it amps me up. I get back. So, Faded's kind of hard to match. And Nightmare is specifically about my brother. That was the first dropped off of the album ago. So same, get from those 2 songs. And perform those.
The joint, man. When I heard that perform at Manchester Music Hall, man, I was hype. I was very hyped for that song. And what's it like to have a guy like John Clark just be there and introduce you? And it even got the I was chanting your name before you hit the stage. You know, it was just the energy. John Clark playing, regardless of where he's at, regardless of what local he has, he gets the crowd going. And John Clark's an extraordinary dude, man. What's it like to have him introduce that?
Oh man, just the he brings to the stage. It's a match, man. Anything like it, but just to have somebody like that in my life as an influence is something I'm very grateful for. I was actually the first show I was in Louisville, and I did Trixie's for the first time, and that's where I met him. He was impressed with the performance at the Montana 300 show, and as friends, and we haven't made any kind of official announcement as far as calling him, giving him a manager, my advisor, and you know, a lot of I've taken to, you know, be successful to get where I'm at. You know, he's definitely had a lot to do with it. So, you know, he's an incredible guy. Shout out to John Clark.
John Clark's a cool dude, man, and you know, to use a wrestling term, he's kind of like the Paul Heyman of Kentucky hip hop. He's like the advocate.
And if he I bet he got a kick out of that.
Oh yeah. I don't know if anyone refers to him, but I'll be the first to say it. He's got that Paul Heyman-esque in him. So now you talked about shows. I know you got a show coming up for Tom McDonald, a fellow hip hop artist. How you feel, man, preparing for that show coming up?
It'll be my first time playing a show for the album, because the album there was a couple issues that didn't go on all platforms, but the CD release will of the album come out the same day as that Tech Nine show. So now that everyone's familiar with some of the new music, you know, the set will definitely be up quite a bit. So I'm super stoked. Tom McDonald is a huge influence of mine. I stumbled upon him. I love the whole American conscious lyrical, and a song's yet to come out. I've actually scored a feature with him coming in the near future. And all the way down from Canada to play in Louisville, Kentucky, and scoring the direct support spot. I'm about it. I hope to see everybody.
Oh man, dude's got a long travel, man, but that's pretty dope for a guy like to come to perform. And you know, me as a Lexington resident, I live in Lexington. I get a little jealous because Louisville, they get so many people to perform, and I'm like, come to Lexington for once, man. Come on. And Lexington to Louisville knows that's it's like a drive, and if you don't hit with the severe traffic, I think you'll be all right. But yeah, the show is gonna be lit this coming Tuesday. So if anyone, I know people gotta work in the morning and all that, but if you can, at least come through and check out Jrumma. That's all I'm saying. What else? What are some upcoming shows you have that people need to keep an eye on?
Oh, for sure. Just to touch base on that one, 7:30. It's at the Diamond Pub, the pub and billiard hall, and it's the concert hall. Now, those that are familiar with Louisville, it's not the same. They play most of the concerts at the Highlands on Barrett Avenue, I believe it is. Mm-hmm. But all of that information's on my page. After that Tech Nine show, man, I looked over it. Shout out to Ron Watts. He's a great. He was the hype man for my show at Tech Nine, and I looked over at him and said, "Hey, man, we did Tech Nine. What's next?" He said, "Now you just got to headline a show." And John Clark's putting on a show at the grand reopening of Trixie's. They completely remodeled it, built the stage, extended the venue side of it. They are having a F. John Clark Friday. It's going to be the 20th. It's going to be completely free, and it's going to, man, we have Razor the Prophet opening up. We got Joey Marini himself on it. Are you familiar with Be Good?
Yes, I am. I'm familiar with
Oh
him.
yeah, I call him the Tech Nine of Louisville, basically. But yeah, he's going to be on the show opening up as well. And what I'm most excited about is the World I Knew. Coming from a metal background, these guys go by they're from Cincinnati. They go by the genre, they call it trap metal, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
They're a very hardcore influenced metal band, but they actually have some elite lyricism, and they kind of break it down and do some hip-hop in the middle of the songs, too. They'll be co-headliner right underneath me, but that's on the 27th at Trixie's, and that'll be a free show.
So you got yourself a busy summer for sure. So everybody go check out all local music, support local hip, support this brother, man, and go get that album. We Never Walk Alone. All digital forms is out, and support this dude for. Now obviously hip hop has had quite a 2018 through the good and bad, like any other year. Now we are a couple from the passing of a notable hip hop artist, Triple X, and I read your status about him and what he meant to you. I've heard some of his songs, and affected a lot. And I also read that Tech Nine said Triple X said that the reason that he started rapping was because of him and Eminem, and right there, like
The two that got me into rapping, too.
yeah. So I mean, what was your reaction to his passing, and how much he meant to you as an artist yourself?
Honestly, I'm still grieving it. It's kind of crazy, man. We've influential celebrities, actors, and singers over the years. But one's really hit me like I lost. The whole "We Never Walk Alone." If you're very familiar with XX, difference between his mixtape work and his album work.
Yeah.
With his album being much deeper, a lot more, beat around, and dealing with a lot of that. His music's kind of got. And somebody I was definitely looking forward to as I was kind of taking steps in music, hoping to meet, and it's kind of another dream you had to work with somebody you were greatly influenced by one day. So, it's just really eye-opening, man, because a lot of the new movement with these kids and hip-hop, a lot of these new artists, like I won't name drop anybody, but, the way they wild out on Instagram Live and they don't think before they speak. And, I just hope that's an eye-opener to a lot of these artists that, it's not a game. It might be online and say some crazy stuff and troll. I'm not saying that's why what happened to X happened to X. Nobody deserves that, but this is eye-opening for the game of hip-hop, and especially the younger generation that's coming in now, to really be careful and realize there's consequences. A lot of damage can be reversed,
That's very true. And, living in this social media days, artists, especially hip-hop artists, are more bigger targets than ever before, especially those that likes to flex on social media. Like, you're setting yourself up for a very tough, and I get it. People want to succeed and get as much money as possible. I get all that, but just the music speak for us on social media, show all that stuff. But that's just me.
Well said, I agree.
So, and before I let you go, again, thank you for being on the show. Why don't you go ahead, promote your cities where people can get in touch with you through social media.
Absolutely. The name's Jrumma, and that's spelled like Jrumma. That's Jrumma. Facebook.com/Jrumma Music. Instagram handle is @Jrumma Music. Twitter, which is not quite as active, @Jrumma Music. And, of course, YouTube is youtube.com/C/Jrumma Music. And any platform, as far as digital, iTunes, Apple, Spotify, just Jrumma. That should be the first one to come up.
Go get that record. We Never Walk Alone. Available on all digital music platforms. Thanks for being on. Continued success, and I hope to see you back in Lexington in the future for sure.
Definitely. Before we sign off, man, I have some things that are kind of out there, and it's a little too soon to announce, but hopefully that'll be. And it's been a pleasure talking with you, man. I loved every second of it. I'm glad to be a part of the show, man.